Hi guys, um, this is a video about thermoelectricity and everlasting organic battery attempts. Really, this is it's mainly about thermoelectricity. We'll do a separate video on batteries only, but I'm going to start with batteries just to show you that what we're discussing isn't wholly theoretical, but really I need some help with the thermoelectricity. The battery cry for help will come a bit later. What you're seeing in front of me here is a number of batteries I made 10 or 15 years ago. So perhaps the most interesting is this here, which is a paint-on battery. And if you look at it closely, you'll see it has three components, which in conventional language, not my language, would be a positive and a negative, and in the middle would be an ion exchange medium. So these things are organic batteries. They're made of things like carbon, mastic, mastic that has its roots organically. Sorry, I'm not remembering very well. Things like bleach, fairy liquid suspended in an inert substance, something like along those lines. Then here are the voltages, fractions of a volt, that these this is typical 0.2 volts. This is the voltage that it showed 10 or 15 years ago. Now this does work, but its longevity is somewhat in question, and its current status is somewhat in question, because the surfaces have oxidized and the wires on my knackered old multimeter are a bit oxidized, but I have got some voltage readings and I'm going to tell you what they are and be open and honest about it. So we're comparing some homemade batteries here, a homemade battery here. This is sealed in resin so that there's no external moisture or interference. This one also sealed in resin. You can just see the terminals there, which is brass and aluminium foil, I think. This is interesting. This was broken, unfortunately. Yeah, this one here. This is a ceramic battery. I don't know what it was made of, probably clay and talcum powder, something along those lines. And then this, by comparison, is a lithium power pack that's also 10 or 15 years old. So there's your conventional technology versus here something homemade. Now to make, and this final one here is aluminium and copper. It was showing 0.67 volts, it says there, and that's got water in it, I think. Now I haven't got enough hands to show you the voltages of these, so you're going to have to trust me on this, but after leaving them stand for 10 or 20 years or so, let's say 10-15 years, they all show a voltage, with the exception of the broken ceramic one, of course. And I'm struggling a little bit with these paint-on batteries, so I'll have to come back to you with that one. But certainly this one and this one and this one produces a voltage, and they produce, if I remember, I've only just done it a few minutes ago, I'm not well, was more volts than this lithium one. So I'm not trying to diss lithium in any way, I'm just, and I don't know how it's constructed, that battery, but certainly it hasn't lasted at all well, whereas these ones have lasted. But there's two big caveats here. The first, of course, is these voltages are in the order of 0.2 to 0.4 volts. That's a very small voltage, and the current will be absolutely minuscule. But in a later video, we'll talk about what the current actually depends on, and I think there may be some surprises there. Now, what else was I going to say? Oh, the other caveat is that when you get two metals, I think they have what's called a work function, and this is where I need your help. So please do, first of all, subscribe so that we can get a bit of momentum behind some of these interesting discussions. Or give it the thumbs up, or pass it on to a friend who's as crazy about science as we all are. Certainly I am. Yeah, so there's this question of the work function. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the voltage of a particular metal relative to hydrogen. But whatever it is, it can easily be argued that all we're seeing here is like a capacitance kind of effect, whereby if we had a 15-year-old capacitor, we would get a voltage of about 0.2 volts. These are showing a 0.4 volts,